welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's topic, I want to break down a choice that we have when we approach the mat and how we want to either feel that day or how we want to move our body into an energetic alignment. And I believe that there's no such thing as a right type of body for yoga. It's really about the right style and alignment cues for your body. Now, yoga is also not just about body size. We have to consider that a lot of things have to do with how our skeletons are actually aligned, right? So the distance of pelvis, the hip to knee ratio, the length of your arms, all of these dimensions are going to actually affect every single posture that you take. So in this video, I'm going to show you 3 different ways to approach a vinyasa. And a vinyasa, as we know, is generally how we warm up for a power or a flow class, but it's also a really great way, as you continue your practice, to check in as a baseline, right? So when you think about a similar action that you're taking quite often, you can observe from day to day or practice to practice what's shifted or what needs to be adjusted for that day. Now, the first vinyasa I'm going to walk us through is probably pretty familiar for those of you who have a background in either power practice or a pretty feisty vinyasa practice. And that's going to be a very traditional stance, feet together. It's going to probably bring up a lot of heat in the body because ultimately the vinyasa was created to bring energy up through the bandhas, upward energy, and get a little bit of fire going before you continued into the rest of your class that day. It might not be suited to everybody's structure, and it's definitely not something that I advise or teach if you do work with anything that's going on in your back. If you've got any kind of knee issues, or if you've ever or recently torn or pulled hamstrings. Now, this is not an across-the-board rule of thumb, but in general, I find if you're working with a current injury, then I'm going to suggest that you work with the vinyasa number 2. And I'm going to walk us through what that looks like, and this is a great version for anybody who has specific things they know maybe aren't necessarily balanced, and just approaching the mat from a very aligned and kind of integral place so that everything is working, stacking on top of the joints. The third version that I'm going to teach you is definitely a more creative, kind of fluid, flowy practice, and it's probably more linked to Surya Namaskar C, if anything. So even though I'm going to be teaching you this version Surya Namaskar A, it's going to be probably very similar to Surya Namaskar C with some deeper back bends and some opportunity for you to be warming up for your class while increasing your flexibility, especially in the spine. And I'm going to advise that this one you either take really slow if it's new to you, or you are someone that's going to really increase your breath and you're beginning your warm-up mindfully, right? You're not just going straight into the deepest back bend that you can access that day, right? So it's a warm-up. Vinyasas are all about coming into the body and building just as much strength and suppleness evenly. It's a real art form, and this is why I've decided to shoot this video showing you that on any given day you can choose which type of medicine is best suited to your practice. Let's get started at the top of the mat with feet together. Okay, so I've got my big toes touching and my heels slightly wider, about an inch apart, so that the inner heel kind of lines up with the outside edge of the big toe. Now, everybody's going to be slightly different, but in general, for many people, we roll externally into the outer feet. So what you want to be doing, if this is your vinyasa choice, is to make sure that you're really grounding on the inner feet, lifting the arches by curling the toes into the mat, and making sure as you push down, you're engaging your legs to lift the kneecaps up. So that's our foundation. You're going to turn your palms face forward, press the energy down to the feet and through the fingertips, looking straight ahead. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale out the mouth. You can add a little lift of your pelvic floor. Inhale, scoop the arms wide, lift your gaze without leaning back. If that's too much, just look forward. Exhale, fold in and let yourself bend your knees slightly for this first one. And rotate your thighs inwards as you lift halfway up. Your hands can also be on your shins. Your hands are at the distance of your shoulders as you step back to plank and lower halfway down. As you roll over your toes, you're going to hug your thighs in, open up across your chest. Chin in, exhale to downward facing dog. Now as you look at your feet, I want you to nudge your heels a little wider and press down so strongly through your hands that you lift your low belly. Okay, there's a lot of different variations in the neck depending on what your upper back is like. But for the sake of being traditional, let's draw the chin in and gaze up towards the navel. Okay, you're going to press from the base of your thumb and index fingers. Take another breath here. Exhaling out. As you look forward, you lift onto your tippies, toes. Bend your knees deeply and look exactly where you're going to step those big toes to touch. As you inhale, lift up and lengthen. Exhale, fold inwards and bow. Curl your forehead in. Hug the legs together as you reach the arms out. Lift your gaze. Exhale the hands to the chest. Look straight out ahead of you. Let's do that again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lean forward and bow. You can put your hands down or fingertips. Inhale, look forward. Pulling your sternum forward as you move your shoulders back. Exhale, step to your plank pose and lower down as you look forward. Push from your toes. Inhale over your feet. Do not let your knees touch down, so you're pressing back through the heels. Exhale, downward facing dog. Gazing upwards, lengthening out the arms evenly, and feeling the forearms hug to each other. Breathe for 2. You're rooting the back of your heels deeper to the mat as your kneecaps lift up for 1. You can let an exhale out your mouth if you like. Inhale, look forward, lift onto your tiptoes. Gaze right where you're going to step your big toes, step or hop. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, bow. Hug the legs in, scoop the arms wide. You can have fingers together or separated. Exhale, hands to the heart. Look ahead. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, look forward. Pull your shoulders back. Step or hop. You can bend and hop to chaturanga. Inhale over your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 big breaths. Relax your mouth. Breathing through your nose. Last one. Gazing forward, lift your heels. Look forward, bend, and lightly hop. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bow. Scoop your arms wide. Pull your belly button up. Exhale, gaze out in front of you. So you can feel, if you were to continue to do another 3, that there's a lot of hugging in, there's a lot of activation, and you can sense that the heat is being built quite quickly in your system. Now the second one is going to have feet underneath your hips. Because of this, you're going to have to work a little harder to be very mindful of engaging the legs equally. Okay, so you're going to spread your toes, looking downwards. Again, likely hugging more energy to the inner feet so that the inner thighs turn on. And just turn your palms face forward. Okay, draw your shoulders together on your back, dropping them down. And then draw your low ribs in and press the crown of the head to the sky. So this one's a little softer. Inhale, reach out. Lift your gaze. Exhale, bend your knees, fold forward and fall onto your thighs with your belly. Inhale, lift and lengthen. You can come onto fingertips. Exhale, step back, and let's go all the way to the floor for this one. Slide your toes back. Curl your chest into cobra. Look straight ahead. Exhale, ripple down. Tuck your feet, keep your knees on the mat. Inhale to child's pose. And exhale to downward dog. Everything is very aligned. It's already in the right place. Your arms and legs are kind of mirroring the distance of your hips and your shoulders. You're going to take a breath in.
Just gazing back between your toes. Inhale, pressing your finger pads down as your heels lift. Exhale, bending your knees, and then just step between your thumbs as you lift up and lengthen. You can push off your shins. Exhale, fold and bow. Just relax the weight of the head. Circle the arms wide. Lift your gaze if it's there. Exhale, take your hands to your heart and down by your sides, like you're drawing big circles or orbs around you. Exhale, folding deeper, further down the thighs. Wave your heart forward halfway. Root your palms, step your feet back, and right away again, lower to the belly. Slide your toes back, curl your chest up. Exhale, ripple down. Tucking your feet, let your tailbone glide between your heels. Push down into your palms and simply lift your knees off the floor. 2 breaths. So this feels almost like layering or folding and unfolding the body, right? It's very kind of nourishing. As you look forward, press your fingertips down, activate your upper arms. You can bend, step the opposite foot. So that's another thing. If you're stepping, you want to alternate the foot you step forward with as you bow. Relax the weight of the head. Inhale, reach the arms wide, lift your gaze, and pass the hands through the heart, down by your sides. Last one. Hug the legs in. Exhale, fold and bow. Looking forward. Step back and lower. Nice and controlled. Slide your feet back, cobra. More back body than arm strength here. Tuck your feet. Inhale, straight back. Root your palms. Exhale, downward facing. 2 breaths. So you're still lifting your kneecaps up the legs here. You're spinning your upper thighs slightly back. And you're tilting your tailbone up as you draw your ribs in. Take another breath. So everything's working to complement other areas of the body as you look forward on your in-breath. Bend your knees as you exhale. Light step. Lift. Spin the thighs up and in. Circle the arms wide. Gather the energy around you. Exhale, hands to the heart and down by your side. So you can feel how that has a more kind of stacked and really consistent sense in the body. It's not as kind of hugged in and intense. It feels very fluid. And this is probably a version that I would suggest if you're newer to the practice, or if I'm teaching an all-level class, or again, as I said, if you're working with anything that's out of alignment in your upper hamstring area or along your back, especially low back, then what it does is it helps you distribute the weight down the legs and work to strengthen the inner lines of your legs with a little less intensity. Okay, now this last one, I'm going to teach it with your feet together, but again, it can be adjusted to have your feet wide if it's new to you and you want to play. So I'm going to have my big toes touching, my heels about 1 inch wide. I'm going to do that same thing, hugging to the insides of the feet, tuck the tailbone down, spread the toes, and I'm going to start with my hands by my sides. Now they're going to go forward, palms up, so at the same rate, right? Not traveling in different orbits. Inhale, I'm going to reach up. Then I'm going to flip my hands. I'm hugging my thighs in. And exhale, fold down and reach behind me to interlace my fingers. Now I'm going to inhale, lift halfway up. Leaning forward. And exhale, sweep the hands down. Inhale, rise. Palms together this time. And exhale, place the hands to the floor. Folding forehead in. Inhale, lengthen. Now you have the option to step, or you can look forward and hop right to chaturanga. Inhale over the toes. Now almost like a sling, you're going to pull the hips back and fold to downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Now if you really want to go deeper, and again, this is about mobility for you today, I want you to wrap the armpits to the floor and press your chest back. Again, this is going to open up your armpit and upper back more. but it really requires that your shoulders are already healthy and that you're not overdoing this, right? So anything done to the nth degree is actually going to lean you out of a balanced lengthening. Big breath in and out. Good. As you look forward, lift those heels, bend, and land between the thumbs. As you inhale, lift up. Exhale, bow. Turn the palms forward. Inhale, little back bend. Exhale, hands to the heart. Again, inhale, sweep up. Keep the shoulders dropping down the back. Exhale, interlace the opposite thumb on top. Good. Inhale, palms together. You can take your gaze back and follow the hands. Exhale, take the palms down. Inhale, look forward. Bend, step or jump. Inhale, up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Make sure that the feet aren't coming closer together. That's one thing that I see quite a lot. Widen the heels. Spin those upper thighs in and back. Press deeply into the pads of the fingers. And then drop your chest further if it feels right today. 2 breaths. Good. Inhale, lifting high onto your tiptoes. Deep breaths as you bend. Slow down the jump. There you go. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold and bow. Hug your thighs in as you sweep your arms forward. Lift. Lean back as far as it feels right for you. Hands to your chest. Let's go a little faster, more breath. Switch the crossing of the thumb behind your back. Hands come down, forward, and swing you up. Exhale, then pass through the midline, and you fold in. Inhale, bend, hop, big bright breath, and downward facing dog. Breathe in, and lengthen. Protect the shoulders by drawing the shoulders back in their sockets as you wrap the armpits to the floor. Last inhale. Exhale. Claw the mat as you lift high on your tiptoes. Bend, nice light spring forward. Inhale. Exhale. Scoop the energy up the front body. Exhale, hands to the heart as you anchor it down the back body. Exhale out your mouth. So as you can feel probably in your system, there's a lot of curves that are happening. And because of that, you're also waking up the spine a little bit faster, and probably a great choice if you know that you're going to be doing a lot of back bends that way. I hope you found this useful. If you love nerding out on yoga, if you love these kind of breakdowns, then please do subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.